What's up, everybody? Hey, we just thank you so much for tuning in. We just got back from Oahu.
Yeah.
Wanted to hop on and talk story about the Iam Tongi. Just everything that's been happening in the last couple weeks, bro.
No, 100%. I mean, because it was so random,
Dude.
so last minute,
Yeah.
and so we kind of wanted to go and kind of debrief and like, give people like a little bit of an insight into like how hard and complex and how many people had to like come together and kind of make it happen, right?
Yeah.
Right. So what happened? What we saw, Brenton Awa's post online.
Yes.
And then we messaged him.
Yeah.
And then we basically from there just started calling, right? We're like, what can we do?
Yeah. Well, we hopped in because freaking Brother Iam sent one video to one of the senators for him to play in front of everybody, so he did. And then we were reading his caption, and Brenton was saying that American Idol was going to be sending Iam down, back home, and that they encourage, some type of celebration or something parade.
Kind of like a welcome back or like hometown hero kind of thing.
Exactly. And they weren't gonna fund it. Long story short, Brenton Awa posted saying that it needed to happen, and he was gonna try to pull some stuff to make it happen.
Yep.
We had Brenton Awa on our podcast just a few weeks before that.
Yep.
And Barada get plenty on his plate.
Yeah, he's a busy guy.
He's a super busy guy.
Like legit, when we were meeting with him, we had to like fit that in.
We were filming at the Twin Fin Waikiki, and we filmed till about 6:40, almost 7. He needed to be on the North Shore, like Haleiwa or Waialua, at 7:30.
In a meeting, yeah.
Yeah.
And he came straight from a meeting to
Yeah.
us. So, I mean, Brother Man is busy, and he's hustling, right? Being a new senator, getting in there, figuring the ropes.
Yeah, exactly.
Going through the first 6 months or 5 months of service,
Yeah, so we read that and we just knew how busy this guy was. So me and Brand was like, hey, we pretty much just tapped him on the shoulder, called him up and said, brother, what do you need?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And and then so that happened Monday. The video was posted, and the event had to happen. Was it May 16th, the following Tuesday?
Yeah.
So
1 week.
1 week.
Yeah, basically just over a week. Like from finding out to making it happen.
To him pulling up to, the venue.
And it was kind of crazy. And I guess I want to start this by saying this is just our point of view.
Yeah.
And this is what we saw and what we did. There's probably tens or dozens of other people doing similar type things, like the amount of effort and work put in.
Yeah.
So we just wanted to explain like what we did and the people that we saw and what they're doing. And even on top of that, there'll be much more.
Oh, yeah.
Like this was a huge event, and like it wasn't us. We just want to put it out there. It wasn't us, but we just think it was so cool that like the amount of people who came together to make something happen. And really, I don't think anything else could have worked.
Oh, God.
Because it was gnarly.
Yeah.
And it was kind of like everything is set against you to fail, right? To throw this big event that ended up being like a 10,000 plus person event.
Yeah.
To come in and then try throw that in a week.
Yeah. Mind you, the event was a parade, right? I mean, it was if you weren't out there, I know people. So I was just on Oahu, right? I was at a Poke Festival. I was talking to people that knew if they weren't out there by, say, 3 p.m., they just couldn't come.
Yeah.
They just knew it was, or they could, but maybe they just catch the last, half hour. It was just so gnarly, right?
100%. Yeah. So, I mean, it was sick. But the first day, I think we spent like 8 to 10 hours on the phone. No, like legit from one.
Bruh.
So, I mean, backtrack a little bit, but basically, we thought our most value would be in like try help fundraising.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that's the biggest thing. And like we mentioned people that could help run it and whatever, but basically fundraising, we have pre-existing relationship with different companies.
Yes.
And so like we can at least tap those guys on the shoulder and cold call whoever else.
And honestly, I just want to give a freaking mahalos to them because everyone had stuff going on. I mean, nobody who was a part of this wasn't just cruising that week.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? They were in meetings. They were trying to figure out campaigns and.
Well, mind you too, this like to explain everybody to how business works. Like these bigger companies have these huge budgets that they allocate in the beginning of the year to all these different projects that are going to come out throughout the year.
Yes.
So like there really isn't room or like extra money sitting on the side for like random stuff.
No, yeah.
Yeah. So like, you know, it's like us calling these different partners, like, and there were certain people who just couldn't, and I totally understand it.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, it's gnarly to say, hey, guess what? We're going to put this thing together. I don't know anything about it. I don't know what's going to happen. I don't know who's in charge really.
Yep.
But guess what? You want to be a part?
Exactly. And you want to be a part. And mind you, the questions that they were valid questions, we didn't have the answers to when we first reached out.
Yeah.
How hard was that to ask these guys for, you know, funds and to
for
be
large sums of money.
Large sums of money, right? To make this happen. Mind you, to find that money in like now, like I'm like, hey, like you don't have to find it now, but we need we need like some type of commitment. Oh, well, you know, as far as like logo placement and this and that, what can we do? Oh yeah, so nothing on the stage. Yeah. You know what I mean? Per American.
No, there were rules. Like, like we could give them nothing that was visible on stage.
Yep.
Nothing. I mean, even then in the beginning, we couldn't promise anything.
Nothing.
Like we'd be like
banners, nothing. Yeah, nothing.
I don't know.
You know,
like
tent space.
That was the answer.
Yeah.
Like I don't know.
Yeah.
And somehow people like answered the call. They had like late night meetings.
Yeah.
Like board meetings because they had to get these things approved.
No, the day that me and Bran were on phone calls for legitimately 10 hours straight, we were filming it a little bit.
Oh, actually, yeah. We're gonna have the camera for a little bit.
Yeah, we probably wouldn't be able to play like the audio just because we were talking about all kinds of stuff. But different companies, we were talking with Brenton Awa. Yeah. But it literally was, I was like, whoa, bro, this is a little Gary Vee-ish. Like every ending of the call, so we had back-to-back meetings that somehow was on schedule, but 30, 45 minutes each. And then if we go over 3 minutes, the other company is already calling us. I'm like, whoa, like,
because they all got questions. So even after we talked to them the first time, there's more questions that we honestly didn't have answers to.
Yeah.
Right. So, and we told them what we never lied, but at the same time, you're like, you know, you just like, hey man, this could be one of the biggest things that ever happens, right? Like, I mean, now in hindsight, he's won American Idol, right? So we're filming this the day after he won.
Yep.
Right. But when this all happened, he was like, they didn't even know if he's going to be top 3 yet.
Yeah. Yeah.
So we're just like, hey, man, like, yes. And I guess when I thought of it and when I heard of it, this is the thing that I thought of. Like, it's great for this kid, and I'm super stoked, like, all this good stuff's happening to him. But Hawaii just needed, like, a win.
Mm-hmm.
Hawaii needed something that galvanized everybody and made them come together to get behind.
Yeah.
So, you know, so you, like, get over all your bullshit and fucking... and go and you like, hey, let's work together to make this
exactly
happen.
Egos aside.
Yeah.
You know, like it really was like for I told me and Brand was talking at one point, I'm not gonna lie, it got to a point, maybe the 3rd or 4th day, there was just so much back and forth. There was so much of me that went into it. And it almost was like, wait. There's a potential plan B for a venue switch. Like, is this going to happen?
There was a venue switch.
That's right. That's true.
Yeah, for the first venue, we told everybody was in Waikiki at the
show. Yeah.
You know, and then it switched to North Shore, which is awesome.
Mm-hmm.
You know, but it was just like every time we called people or talked to them, we had a whole new set of like data.
Yeah.
And they're just like,
Yeah.
And I mean, honestly, thank you to them because they just trusted us.
Straight up.
Yeah. And like,
but it was the first time in like a long time where I told Brian, I said, dude, like, I don't even have time. Like, we haven't even been working on our own stuff. Yeah. You know what I mean? And that's just, that's what had to happen. But, bro, I was like, whole guy, like, brought a podcast, you know, like, I haven't filmed anything.
Yeah.
There's, like, no time. By the end of the day, I'm like, I need to just, like,
well, we had a whole week planned.
Yeah.
It should have been, I mean, it was a productive week, just in a different way.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I mean, we had like filming schedules. We had like, okay, release this, and this.
Yep. We're starting.
You know, so it was planned, and all that stuff got pushed to the side.
Yeah. I mean, we even brought everything. We were trying to bring the most value to the partners that we tapped on the shoulder. So for me, and you know what I mean, when we announced it, we were talking to Brenton and wanting to help.
Yeah.
It was a bit of like, you know, we were putting our name on the line. We want to do a good job.
Yeah.
You know, we don't want this thing to.
Yeah. I mean, everything we do, we really, even whether it looks like it or not,
Yeah.
like we think about it a lot. You know what I mean? We break it down. We're like, this could work this way. This could work that way. Well, this does this. This does that. Like, which direction should we take?
Yeah.
But this one was kind of like, I mean, honestly, maybe a bad choice. And like, if we're being logical,
Yeah.
like we went head first, and then second day in, we're like, oh shit.
Raw. That's where I felt.
We're like, oh crap, because like, I mean, it was everywhere, and nobody knew, and like we got that.
Yeah.
But we're like, who's running it?
Exactly.
Like our head person was Brenton, but he's been talking to a whole bunch of other people.
Yeah.
Who ended up being great.
Yeah.
But we didn't know that.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so it's one of those like, okay, we just got to make this happen. We got to like protect our guys, protect our sponsors, make sure everything's lining up, make sure everything's legal, making sure everything's by one person.
Yeah.
You know, all the different things that can happen when stuff happens super fast and there's a lot of money involved.
Yeah.
We wanted to make sure like all the money that we got went straight to the thing and not to any other random stuff.
All gray areas, right?
Yeah.
Bruh. So that's when the pressure got a little bit on my shoulders.
Yeah.
Just from because you want to do a bang up job, straight up, you know what I mean?
100%,
And do right by, because a cause that was, this event, hindsight, was the most amazing thing that I got to be a part of.
Yep.
You know, so I'm happy that we dove head first.
Oh, happy, right?
You know?
Like in hindsight, but like if I'm just being the logical person, like you're kind of like, oh,
maybe not.
yeah, like, oh, did we bite off too much? Like this is like huge, and like we're up for challenges, but you're like, oh,
Yeah.
and then I guess it was the lack of control,
Yeah.
the lack of the ability to like see the whole picture, which I'm like if I seen everything and knew everybody and did this, I'd have way more confidence.
Yes.
But it was just like, we're like, okay, I see my sector and this is what our job is and we're doing it. Frick, I hope it's going to the right place. I hope it, you know, like it goes where it's supposed to, like everything happens well.
Yeah.
Like super well. We don't want any of our partners to be on like a crappy event.
Yeah, exactly.
Right? We don't want something to turn to trash. Like that's nothing we ever want to put our name on.
Yeah.
You know, and we like literally were like, I don't know. Like I just don't know.
And I think a lot of people were like that, right?
Yeah,
I mean,
I think it was very compartmentalized, right? So everybody were in their zone, and they didn't know like anything other than their thing.
Yeah.
Like if you're like putting on the event, you didn't know where the money was coming from.
Yeah.
You're just like, we're getting the stage, we're getting this, we're calling these people, we're getting the security, we're getting the vendor set up.
Yeah.
We're doing the layout of the place. Yeah.
The layout, we not even get to like the day before or something.
Yeah. I mean, a lot of this stuff, like, it usually probably I would take 6 months to plan this. Like that'd be like the latest I would start to plan like an event of this magnitude.
Yeah.
With that much people, with that much variables, with that open space, with that many like different bands.
Yeah. But the cool thing, I think that like the biggest takeaway for me is, you know, like kind of like look at what happens when I mean, from the entertainment side, I'm like, whoa, wait. Like, yeah, you'd probably have to spend like 6 months trying to line this shit up. You mean
100%.
for all
I don't even think you get all those bands on the same stage.
Yeah.
It'd be too expensive.
Yeah.
Do you get what I mean?
True, that's
like
true.
All those guys on the same stage would have had to charge like $100-something bucks.
Yeah.
Like it was all headliners.
Yep.
On a stage, and you're like, oh.
Yep.
And they're gonna do it.
Yeah. Exactly.
Right. So I mean that was a crazy thing. I mean, to me, this is a once in a lifetime thing. I mean, there'll be great concerts, there'll be great things, but there'll be nothing like this.
Yes.
You know. But then, so we're day 2.
Yeah, we're day 2.
We're day 2. We're going day 3. I mean, day 2, 3, 4. I feel like it was the same, right? Like lots of questions, few answers.
Bro. It was.
You know, like, and your guy and people are getting frustrated with us, rightfully so.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because we don't know.
Exactly.
But we don't want to like BS them and just give them an answer they want. So we're like, honestly, this is just, I'm going to give you every bit of information as soon as it comes in.
Call me if you have questions.
Yeah,
then
and
they call, and then they call and we don't have that. I mean, I'm talking. They'll call like 6, 7. We're trying to get the answers as best as we can from Brent, and it, you know, and there's just so much. That brother was in meetings on the North Shore while doing his stuff, his other stuff.
Well, okay. I mean, I think we should like address this right now. Like, he won't ever take credit for this, but if there was no Brendan Awa, there would have been no concert.
Yeah, I agree.
No, if there was any singular person who needs credit for it, it's him. And it's not that he did it alone or whatever, but he was the spearhead that like was necessary to get all the people together to make it happen. And without him and his hard work, I mean, this guy was up day and night. I mean, we're talking to him at like 10 at night.
Yeah, and then he calls me 7 a.m.
Yeah, you know what I mean? So it's like he's all in all week.
Yeah, I think we must have hopped on Zoom calls 3 times a day.
Yeah.
Aside from the random 6, you mean the random phone calls, you know?
So, I mean, it was just like to make sure that he gets the credit he deserves, not that he wants it.
He doesn't want it.
He doesn't want it. But I want people to know that he did it just because he knew what it would do for the community.
Yeah, which, like we always talk about wanting to be a part or doing, even throwing events that bring people together, right? That's like my favorite types of events. But this, guys, was so heavy. And I think a lot of the weight on my shoulders was after when we first talked to Brenton the first day, what do you need? He's like, bro, whatever. Hey, if you want to host it, co-host it with Island Magic Mike, bro, you got it. And I agreed. And then I'm like, oh, shit. You know what I mean? Like you said, day 2, 3, and 4 was the same.
Yeah.
A lot of questions, not many answers. Even from us, we had questions that we never have answers to. For me, I'm like, if I'm going to go on stage and I'm going to, you know what I mean? Like bring value. I want to kill it.
No,
you know, I want if 10,000 people are there, I need 10,000 people to leave saying, holy crap. You know, Brada Z, Island Magic Mike, the whole thing was cherry. You know, not that I need the recognition. I just want to be that. You know what I mean? And
hey, you just want to put out that level of like service or excellence, right?
Exactly.
Like you don't ever want to do something shitty.
Yeah, 100%.
You know what I mean? And get back to a little bit before, like that's why we took this event though, or why we wanted to be a part of it. Is like we saw so much value for the community if it did well.
Yeah.
That like, I mean, we were talking about this before we filmed this podcast, but there's so many like terrible shit going on. Whether it's like murders, like violence, crime, like all these things that seem so much more regular than it used to be.
Yeah.
And then so little of these like positive things.
Yep.
And I mean, and it's just like, it was probably one of, I don't even, like, mind you, I'm not a concert person. I'm not against them. I'm just not like, frick, I need to go to this concert.
This guy, when's the last concert you went to, bro?
I mean, it was mainland, like in college.
See, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah. But I mean, my thing is like, it was probably one of the most, because I worked in the audience. I was like helping with the sponsors.
Yep.
And like you just go and people were stoked. It just reminded me of like being a kid. Like we used to have the county fair here.
Bruh.
And like these kids are running around, no parents, whacking each other with like foam sticks.
Yeah.
And it was just like pretty cool.
Yeah.
Like it was like, oh man, like everybody just like there.
Yep.
People were stoked. You'd talk to them. They'd be like cheerful.
Exactly.
You know, not even like short. Nothing. Like no anger. And then for like a thing of that magnitude to have like 0 incidents, which is crazy.
Yeah.
You know, like any other concert that wouldn't have happened, but people came to support.
Yeah.
People came to like for something bigger than like the music even.
Exactly.
You know, and that was the reason why we wanted to do that.
They came with signs. They waited in traffic and
for hours.
Both ways.
Yeah.
We got there at around 2:45, 3 p.m. from what, like HAWAI'I side?
Yeah.
Cousin, at the freaking cars was on the side of the road parked, on their cars waiting, ready. You know, it was heavy. Turtle Bay was all hands on deck.
Yeah. It was crazy.
Bruh.
But yeah, so I mean, that was what we thought it could be, and it ended up being that. So we're stoked.
Yeah. Yeah.
But it's one of those things where it's like, wow.
So, you know, and so what, maybe day 4, day 5, Brand decides, he's like, hey, bro, like, do you have anybody that can film? And I'm like, oh yeah, I mean, I get some of the boys on Oahu. He's like, oh, what about the what about the guys that you just filmed the Mauna Loa stuff? You know what I mean? Because they're always doing events.
Yeah.
Just hit them up and see if their stuff available. I was like, oh shoot, okay, well that means we gotta pay for the hotel. Like we gotta you know,
fly them over.
Fly them over.
We gotta get those tickets made.
Yeah.
Like,
And
yeah.
you know, and mind you, like we're just trying to make this thing happen. So like, and you know, it's super easy, but throw that in the mix. I'm like, holy crap. Okay. We got to make the decision. I call the guys, you know, Prime Footage, and Toy Monkey.
Yeah.
Bro, they were super down.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And it's funny because after talking with them, they said, hey, bro, whether you guys flew us down or not, we would have been down here. You know, we would have made it happen. We would have tried to come down.
Yeah, that's the first time I met them.
Yeah.
Right? So, I mean, you'd always, especially on Big Island and some of these bigger concerts, they're always there. So, like, because you said they're the concert guys,
yeah,
like, they got it down. Like, I'm like, oh, yeah, you picked the best guy for the job.
Yeah.
You know, you're like, if this is their zone, let's pick them. And then these guys killed it.
Dude.
Like, I mean, yeah, they flew down. They were super stoked.
Yep.
Super happy. They set up. They walked their ass for fucking for hours through that thing. Like, and
everywhere.
Then they got to the hotel after we're done, and they stayed up till. I don't think they went to sleep.
No,
they stayed up.
I got a video in my Dropbox at 5:40 a.m.
Yeah,
and Big Jerm said, "Hey, bro, you mean check this out? Let me know. You know, let me know when you want to post it or whatever. You know."
These guys are like editing at the event.
Between him, Val, bro, these guys, Val, had a dude was chopping. When we first got there, we went into the tent. I was changing into the sheriff. He was already chopping on video. Yeah, dude, same day edit. He had collab post with me at like what 7th?
Yeah, before the end.
Yeah, before the end.
Yeah, but I mean, yeah, it was crazy. It was just that was cool. I mean, that was the thing that was cool. There's so many people that came together to make it happen. And like I said, this is just our story. This is just our little sector that we saw. Yeah. But it was sick. So these guys, 4 or 5 days, I mean, basically 2 days or 3 days before the event are like, okay, we're coming. Yep. And we're like, all right, let's get it going.
Exactly.
And then we set up with them, and then we're just like, you know, we're getting more info really close to the event. Like, and we're waiting, you know, part of us is like, should we just make it ourselves? Yeah. Should we make a flyer ourselves? Should we do this? But we're like, nah, we're going to wait because we want to make sure, like.
For our sponsors, right?
For our sponsors, but like, even just the official banner.
Oh, that's like, right.
Okay, they said they're going to do this. Like, we're waiting.
Yeah.
We're getting it going. Like, I mean, I would have wanted to be like pushing like 5 days before.
For sure.
Even a week before.
That's why people only seen the official banner, 2 days before.
2 days before the event, which is crazy.
Gnarly.
Yeah. Like, that's all that came out, you know?
Yep.
And then we're trying to, like, navigate, like, who do we talk to? There's all kinds of side stuff going on. We won't get into that. Yeah. But we're, like, trying to avoid that. We're trying to avoid, like, stuff that we don't know who's running. Yeah. Not to say it was bad. We don't know.
Exactly. There was too much uncertainty already. Yeah. With who we were working with. You know what I mean? Just from trying to get the information, and so to take on something else where we're like, oh well, we don't know what's happening really. You know, like Brand said, not to say that it was bad. It's just why we're not gonna jump into that. You know what I mean?
Yeah. No, 100%. Yeah, and so we start to get more answers closer to the event. Yeah. We're feeding. I mean, our sponsors are like, can you let me know because I want to buy these things.
Yeah. Can you let me know like, do I need to have like a team out there to set up? Like, are we going to have a space? And like, where's the space? And you know what I mean? Like, how many tents can I bring? I'm like, bruh, I'll just get back to you like what? Like morning. I mean, it literally was the night before. We were freaking eating Korean barbecue at Millions. Yeah. And you know what I mean? And Brenton's hitting me up. I'm hitting Heather up. And it was just.
Yeah. So, I mean, our sponsors, the people who like went through us was Servco,
Toyota, Texaco,
YKA,
yep, HMAA,
yeah. They all like they jumped through hoops to make this happen.
like I mean, on circus.
Yeah, like I mean, the amount of work they had to put in to actually make this work was gnarly.
You're gonna order 2,200 of anything to give out at a concert,
within 5 days.
raw. I don't know what that expedited cost looks like to get it shipped, but it's there.
Yeah.
Bruh.
Well, mind you, I mean, and like, yeah, props to Heather. Like, she killed it.
Yeah.
Because you look at those videos now, like, those things are key.
Yeah. Well, did you see American Idol, the grand finale?
Yeah.
The whole crowd had it.
Exactly.
Bruh.
They bid it.
Yeah.
They're like, oh, these are sick. We better get this.
That's
For
what my
our
aunt
show.
was saying. They're like, oh, look.
Yeah.
Yeah. But, yeah, but I mean, guys, like, you see the reels, you see all the content that we've been posting, but bruh, to be there and hear Iam sing, and I mean, like, he was just, brother was surrounded by about 80 bodyguards, but you know what I mean?
Oh,
He
no. He
rolled up like the president.
Oh, no. He's more secure than the president.
Oh, yeah, 100%.
I know. It's just like the
And he
Eagles
should be.
landed. The Eagles landed.
Yeah.
It's just like they're like literally when he finished his song, they whisked him off. Like,
Oh, no.
into a car and they drove away.
Shoulder to shoulder with producers from American Idol.
Yeah.
Guys, you guys had to have been backstage. The production back there was major. Major on the go, and like, you know what I mean? It was very like boom, boom, boom. And like Brand said, once his last song was done, they sprinted to the van and was out because they had to film the next morning or at least be at where Cali. I don't know where they filming that stuff, but they were out.
No, 100%.
Immediately.
But then, yeah, so we're going on little tangents. But like 5 days in, let's go to the day before. So we land.
Yeah.
And we're scared because Hawaiian Airlines is shitting the bed.
Bruh.
As far as their new system.
Yeah.
So we're like, oh, dude, we can't miss flights.
Yeah.
We can't do this because, like, I think the Friday before everything got shut down. Right?
Wait, yeah. So days leading up, guys, this is when the software and stuff like that for Hawaiian was just not working.
Yeah, so it wasn't working. So we're like scared. We're like, oh, we gotta make these flights.
I look at Facebook, I look at Instagram. Yeah. Guys are telling me they've been on Maui for 12 hours. I'm like, if that happens, we're not gonna make the event.
Yeah. Period.
Yep.
Yeah. So we land. We pick up the Big Island brothers.
Mind you, we had to fly. So prime footage from Hilo, Toy Monkeys from Kona.
Yeah.
I'm just praying, like, all these airports, you know what I mean? It's
this thing is not just us. It's
No.
like everybody.
Yeah, and all different times. Mind you, dude, when I book you guys' flights, I'm so sorry. I'm not even going to ask you what time works. I'm not going to coordinate. I just book it them. And I go tell you, be there at this time.
Yeah.
And, you know, lucky thing, Prime them was like, oh, now we're good. You know, but shoots.
These guys land, and then we got to go get another car, and we're picking everybody up.
Yeah.
We're all over the place. We go straight. Well, we go eat food too, but then we go straight to the stuff, and we just start getting ready.
Yeah.
Right. We got to get all the equipment ready. We got to get everybody lined up
Mm-hmm.
because we're leaving the next morning.
Yeah.
You know, so we go like get everything ready the night before, game plan, snacks, like everything. We're like, well, we don't know if there's gonna be water there.
Yeah.
We, like still at this point, like we really don't know anything.
Hoi.
We know we got a map, which was sick.
Yeah. So what is this? This is the night before
Night
Monday.
before, yeah.
Monday. Okay. Got you.
This is Monday.
Yeah.
We land
We do a food land run? Safeway?
Safeway or something. Yeah.
Safeway, brah.
Just like snacks and water and everything. We don't know what's gonna happen.
Yeah.
So we're like, and we're planning on just being out there all day, just because like, who knows how long we're gonna be in traffic.
And we was there all day.
Yeah. Exactly.
But we had to get out there early. So, what did we do morning of?
Well, we had breakfast.
Oh yeah.
At the
Coconut Club.
Room.
Coconut Club. Yeah.
Yeah, the best view in Waikiki.
Yeah, for real.
It was
Twin
kinda
Fin.
sick.
Shout out Twin Fin.
Yeah, for hooking it up.
Yeah, for real.
But yeah, so we ate breakfast there. Then we just game plan, and we had to get
This.
we had to pick up stuff to hand out.
Yeah.
We had to pick up
Run some errands. Yeah.
errands. We had to pick up Steve to help. He's gonna help with the event.
Oh yeah.
So like more workers.
Yeah.
We had to pick up all the supplies.
Mind you, at that point, so morning, let's just say hours before, we had like a general timeline.
Yeah.
Right? It wasn't anything like super solid. It was just kind of like time slots.
Yeah.
Not what needed to be said, not really who was.
And then you and Mike were just going back and forth like random,
Yeah.
trying to figure out how to like do the program.
Yeah, so I hop on a call with Island Magic Mike, and we're trying to like game plan because we were co-hosting. You know, and brah, just mahalo to that brother, because he he really took control in I mean, he's from that side.
Yeah.
Right. He knew Kahuku alma mater and all that. So it was such a good brother to work with, you know, on
he
that
was
side.
super,
So.
I mean, I didn't really like I was around him. I didn't really meet him and talk story, but he was a killer brother.
Yeah.
Like he was down for the cause.
Mind you.
Super like normal, super cool, super just like, bro, let's kill this.
Yeah, exactly. Mind you, he half an hour before, brother just finished doing the Kahuku Senior Luau,
Yep.
right? And he was contracted, I think, 1 p.m. to when they board the trolley. So I'm like, in my head already, I was like, this guy is no way possible that he can come here on time when we gotta rock the stage.
Yeah.
So in my head, I'm like, oh, I gotta rock this crowd. You know what I mean? For X amount until I don't know what's going on. That was a thing. The beginning, I never really know what was going on and what needed to be said. You know.
Well, I mean, to be honest, I don't think anybody did. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I like we drive up there, wait in traffic for a while. We get there like after 2, before 3, whenever that was. I mean, we left at like 11.
Yeah.
So we got there, and then we're like, where do we go?
Mm-hmm.
What do we do? Where do we park? You know, I mean, it's just everything was so last minute where it was hard.
Exactly.
You know, so then we get there, and then they got this huge stage set up. You got food trucks lined down the thing. I mean, you're talking probably like not in a row, like lengthwise, but just probably 3 football fields smashed together, you know?
Yep.
And that's how much like the field was.
Mm-hmm.
Then you had like some picnic tables, then you had the front, the back, then the golf course was the parking lot for all the regular guests.
Because you guys had more porta potties over there than anything.
Oh, than exist on Kauai.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, right on, bro. That's important.
Oh, there was joke.
You know.
There were like 50 of them.
News station platform set up. There was raised platforms for Iam's family, and you know the way they set it up, where they had like the first, I would say like 25 yards, like in front, and then wide as a stage.
Yeah.
That was all the graduating class of Kahuku.
Yep.
You know, so
in there.
For them, I don't know, but it was so special for them.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, and for Iam, but the way that this thing, like what this was for Hawaii, and back to, you know, like how much it galvanized and brought people together, bro, so solid. Like Brandon was saying, that, bro, the energy and the vibes were so high all night. Everyone was so pumped and stoked. You know, it was unreal. So that was kind of like the layout, you know, of it. And I don't know, I was rocking backstage.
It's sick. But literally driving up to this thing, you're just praying. You're like, I hope people show up.
For real.
Like, I mean, mind you, remember 2 days before really an official announcement came out?
Yeah.
There was some mention before that, but until then, there was no real, like, concrete, like, this is the info.
Yeah, and granted, Hawaii is different, but if you guys watch the grand finale, you know, compared to the other home welcoming, it was just, and, you know, that's what it was, but cousin, ours was way crazier.
Yeah, I mean, like 100 times crazier.
Yeah, 100 times crazier.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And, good for him. I think, oh man, like hearing him live was just a little bit, it's different, bro.
Oh no, 100%.
Different.
No, I mean, that kid's voice is so powerful.
Guy.
And mind you, let's remember, he's a kid.
Yeah, bro.
Like that's why he's on TV and stuff, but like, Brother Man just graduated.
Yeah.
Like, he's a kid. Like, I mean, and 4 or 5 months before this, he was just a normal brother living in Washington with his family.
Yeah.
Hoping to come home at some point.
Yeah.
And that was it, right? Like, and whose dad had passed.
It's,
you know, so like, I don't think he could imagine like the twists and turns and what ended up happening.
Yeah.
Which, I mean, I'm super stoked about.
Yeah.
You know, it's freaking awesome.
For real. I think the way that everything unfolded, who he is, the way he carries himself, and the way that Hawaii supported him and was so down for it, like, I'm just happy that was presented on a world stage. Because
100%.
This is like, yes, Hawaii needed this. The world needed to see something like that. You know what I mean?
100%.
Like,
I mean, just, yeah, you're right.
Right?
You're right. Like things are not the best.
Exactly.
Right? like from like we go to cities and we're like, oh, you know,
right?
and I've lived in cities and I go back to the same one. I'm like, oh, this is not the same place.
Yep.
This is not the same vibe. Like the amount of like homelessness, the amount of like crime, the amount of closed businesses,
Yep.
the amount like the way people interact, they're super different.
Yes.
It's not the same.
Yep.
Right? Like Portland, LA, like San Francisco, like places all I live, like you're like, oh wow, this is not what I remember.
Yep.
You know, like it's just different. You know, everything's more, even Oahu, right? It's more on edge.
Yeah. Yeah.
Where you're just like, oh, like you're just way more careful. Like you're super aware.
Yeah.
Like every time I go somewhere, I'm like watching everything.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, oh,
But
anything could happen anytime.
exactly. And like you know, like you were saying, the way that it felt like being a kid again at like a carnival or a fair.
Yeah.
Literally Hawaii like before. Like that is the vibe that I got there. Yeah, super nervous when beforehand, but once freaking Kavika Kahiapo them started playing and everyone was up against the freaking like as close as they could be. Guys, I'm talking signs and people for as far as you guys can see with your eyes from the stage.
Well, let's backtrack a little bit. I want to get into like the production team. Like Tautua Reed,
Tautua Reed.
Like so he was the guy who Brenton had decided to work with to put this thing on. And they killed it.
Killed guy.
Like destroyed it. Like things were sick. You know what I mean? Like everything was set up. And they had this one brother, TC.
Yep.
That guy was on it. I didn't even meet him. He gave me a wristband, and that's about my whole interaction with him. But I watched him all night. This guy was sprinting. This guy was adapting. This guy was like flipping. Because mind you, like in the front end, what people saw was freaking amazing.
Flawless.
From
as far as
knowing what it was supposed to be on the back end, that thing was like patched together.
Bruh.
You know, meaning like the Kahuku seniors took an hour longer than they were supposed to like get to the venue.
Yeah.
So that threw off the whole schedule.
Bruh.
So all these artists who, mind you, are like high-level artists, got all pushed around, smashed up. Like they started playing together on stage.
Yeah. Which was heavy.
Which is heavy and awesome.
Yeah,
right?
awesome.
Like it's the craziest medley you ever did see. And you're like, this would have never happened, right? Because like in a real concert, if people got bumped like that, they would be pissed.
Oh, for sure.
But they're all down for the cause.
Yeah.
They're all like every single person there had like the same mission.
Yeah.
Which was the crazy part. And people you never talked to, people you never met, they were just all on the same wavelength. They're like, oh, we got to make this thing sick.
Exactly.
Like the purpose of this is Iam. And then I think even more than that is like what it brings.
Exactly.
And what it is. You know what I mean?
For sure.
And then there's all kinds of last minute stuff, right? They did this crazy helicopter drop, which
brah.
was not in the schedule.
Bruh, no.
It was a last minute ad.
Me and Mike get our timeline.
Yeah.
I look at TC's one.
Different.
I said, what the hell is that in the middle of Iam coming? You know what I mean? I'm like, what the hell is that? They're like, bruh, oh yeah, we're doing, I think Paradise Helicopters was who was, but they did one crazy. You guys know what a flower drop is, and you know it kind of like, it almost makes you like tear up. It makes you feel the feeling is unreal. Match that with Brada Iam singing live, cousin.
Oh no, I mean they timed, like it was kind of crazy. They timed it perfect, and even then, mind you, it wasn't the craziest windy day, but there was wind. And whoever did
calculated.
Their calculus was on.
For sure.
Their physics was on.
They're
like, I'm like, bro, what are they doing? They were like, they're like 50 yards in the opposite direction. And you're like, wait.
Yeah.
Hey, you guys missing,
For real.
But then by the time it hit the ground, it was like perfectly in the spot.
Heavy.
And you're like, oh, nah, they know what they're doing. They're killing it.
Yeah.
Bruh.
And Iam, bro, when he played freaking Sweet Lady of Waihole, I'm like, dude, that's right down the road. You know what I mean? Like this is like,
and we've talked about this before, but this kid's song selection is like flawless.
Yeah.
Like he picks the right song at the right place that is the most like impactful.
Bruh.
and you're just like, oh, this kid is like, I don't know if he means to do it like this, but he's killing it.
He's killing it, bro.
You're just like, and like you said, his voice is, it's one thing to see it on TV. It's another thing to hear it. And you're like, oh, this thing is like powerful.
No, it is.
And it's like big. Like,
Yep.
you had all kinds of crazy artists, and like he was just up there with them.
Yep.
You know, and he was just like wailing, and you're like, oh.
Lionel said it last night on the finale, but there's just something about his delivery. You know what I'm saying? It's just, like you said, powerful, moving. It's like, I don't know, like you just, you know, his story is super inspiring, and how he's kind of worked through, you know, what he had to go through. But, bruh, there's something about a lot of people, I think, in the world that for the first time, I think they're getting their freaking pu'uvai and their na'au just strummed. You know what I mean? They're like you said, it's big. It's like the judges are like bawling. Like, I'm over there in the crowd. Like, Sweet Lady of Waihole is I don't know if it's a happy song, but it's an upbeat song.
Yeah.
There's no reason why I need to feel a type of way to that song. I did, though. I'm like by myself. I'm like, oh, like, you know what I mean? Like, this is heavy. I didn't even know how to explain it, really. So I feel like a lot of people who have been tuning in over the last weeks, they feel that unexplainable feeling.
Well, I also think he's the most like genuine guy. You know, like everybody else tries to like manufacture or portray like what they think everybody wants. Like, oh, that super put together person, or that ultra country person, or whatever. And this kid just kind of out there.
Yep.
Like, he's like, you know, he's crying when he feels like crying. He's freaking, he's stoked when he's, you know, when he's playing a koloikai.
If he's drinking coconut water from Paula and spill him on his guitar, he's like, oh, yeah, cheat. You know what I mean? Like,
I mean, just straight up.
Just straight up.
And like that kind of shit is the stuff I think, I mean, this is something we focus on, is like, that's what the world needs.
Exactly.
It just needs straight up, like, honest stuff. And people react to it because you can't fake it.
No.
Yeah. And that's that kid. I'm like, he just kills.
Yeah.
You know, and because of that, I think is like a huge part of his like music, his stuff.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
And like you said though, like when I was a kid, my dad used to take all his employees to like these concerts at Cocoa Palms. It was like old school. It was like Brothers Casmero, like old school guys.
Yeah.
And honestly, I never understood. Like, I'm like, well, yeah, it's cool, but don't you got like a record,
a
CD, or like back in the day it was like 8-track or a tape or you know, whatever the thing was. Like, you got it. Like, why we got to come here?
Yeah.
Like, it's cool, but like that kind of day, like even like Iam was great, but like even there was like one point I think I was in the crowd, doing something, and then like a John Cruz, like his first song came on. Yeah. And I'm like, oh shit. This is pretty like
when he sings Island Style. I mean, like, dude.
You're just like, oh, that's crazy. You know what I mean?
Oh.
There's just like a different feeling, and you're like, I don't understand it, but it's there.
For sure.
100%.
You look out into the crowd, you're seeing like these, bruh, there's some shots that freaking prime footage them got of like these kids. I'm like, this, like, I get hard time watching, but you know, it just brings so much freaking good vibes, right? Having that displayed on a stage like what American Idol is, and don't get me wrong, a lot of people are saying that Iam is kind of sparked American Idol again. You know what I mean? Like just in a very refreshing way.
Oh,
you know?
I mean, I think so. I think it was very different too. It's why than what's been around, right? And like I said, it's a very real story. Yeah. Right. There's a lot of other guys who I watch, like, because we were doing it, I tried to keep up with stuff. Yeah. But, you know, you had other people who are like kids of like famous people. Yeah. And stuff who were interned, and you know, they got out earlier, but like it's just, you know, they could have done that in anything. Their parents could have took them to a record place, and they could have, and they probably still will. Yeah. And produce it and do this and whatever. You know, some of these other guys already have produced music, you know? So, I mean, and that's not to take anything away from them, but there's just something real about a kid and like a real story who's just there. Yep. You know, and loving and just loving it. But also like, not like, I feel like in the beginning he did it because like he had to, like, or as if he owed it to his like dad or mom or family. You know what I mean? Yep. It wasn't necessarily like, oh, I really want to do it. Right. And those kind of stories like really grip people. Yeah. you know, and even in Hawaii, like when he first went out, I don't think it was as strong as at the end.
Yeah.
Right? People start to realize, oh, this kid is like crazy and special and,
Yeah.
and this. And then people start to realize, and you're like, oh,
Yeah.
you know, and then people just randomly in public, like, are about it.
Oh, for sure.
Right? Like you posted something yesterday, and this was completely random of that uncle.
Oh my God, dude. Completely random. You can bring,
Yeah.
bro. So what Brandon is talking about is I was at the airport and we were at terminal A20 and we were just waiting for our flight. So it was about 4:20, maybe 4:30 or something. And I just me and Marciano is talking about, you know, Iam, and he was asking me about the event and all this thing. Long story short, this random uncle butts in. He's like, oh, hey, can we still vote? And I'm like, oh yeah. He's like, oh, what is the number? Oh, 25213. You know, you can text number 12 to 25213, and you can vote 10 times. You know what I mean? I think we get up until 5 p.m.
Yeah.
You know, the cutoff. Okay. He's like, oh, do you know what time the show is till? He's just asking me random questions. Bruh, 2 minutes later, maybe not even, all I hear randomly is, listen up. Bruh, I can get startled easy. I jump out of my seat. I'm like, oh, immediately my mind was like, this is one terrorist. And I was thinking that he was going to be like, women on the left, men on the right. You know what I mean? I thought it was something like some kind of takeover, like something bad. Yeah. That's just where my mind goes, something like a movie, you know? Bruh, he starts screaming at the top of his lungs that Iam is in the running to be, you know what I mean, the winner for American Idol, and he wants everybody at Terminal A20 to whip out their phones right now, and that we have like 20 minutes left to vote, you know, number 12 to 25213, to get Iam, you know what I mean, to help him win. And it was so random. You know, my phone was already out, so I started recording. I ended up posting it, and the thing went crazy. And everybody was using that. I mean, now at this point, all the news stations hit me up today asking if they could use that video to go on the news, because it's just such a great representation of the way that everyone is so down to support. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Like, you don't, I don't know about you, but like, you don't go into the airport and usually everyone's just like doing their own thing. Yeah. This is so large and this is like so special that this guy just took the cause and was like, no, I'm going to do my part, you know? Mm-hmm. And it's like everyone for the last couple of months or weeks have been doing their part. Yeah. At the event, on social media, everyone is on board, you know? So I was just like, it was just so random and just reconfirming like, oh shit, no, this thing is happening. You know what I mean? This is special.
100%, right? Like, and I just imagine that hopefully like that's happening in other places, right? Maybe not that dramatic, but like, oh, make sure like your uncle told you, make sure you text this number. Yep. You know, and it was cool because like even on social, right? You saw how many people were like posting. I was like, oh, right on. Yeah. Like the amount of people posting to like vote and this and all the different guys. I was like, oh, super stoked, right? Yeah,
exactly.
And you're just like, oh, if people could come together like this often, like the things that could get done would be like unbelievable. Oh, right. I'm super stoked because I'm super stoked that all this energy at least got put to someone who is like, who deserves it, right? Yeah. Someone who is like not seeking it. Someone who's like not trying to fucking manipulate a situation.
For sure.
Right? Someone who's just like there.
Yep.
You know, and I'm stoked that that's the person getting it, right? Because we live in a world where like, oh, they did this, and then you find out, oh, it was because of this.
Yeah, exactly.
And you're like, oh, that kind of takes the freaking
the whole
like goodness away from it.
Exactly.
You know,
and bro, mind you, I want to paint a picture for you guys. Iam comes from the senior luau, parades through Kahuku to Turtle Bay. Brother comes out. The producers from American Idol is staging the Samoan stuntman and I forget, what is it, Laie? how does it like they were hitting the, you mean like the Tahitian drums?
Dancers.
Yeah, yeah. So they had all that stage. There was fire knife dancers all the way out in the front. Soon as brother pulls up, he has to come out, grab one fire knife, walk out in the front, right? Me and Mike are freaking on the stage, hyping up the crowd. He had to make that walk like 4 times, right? They had to get the shot, to get the shot. After that, you know what I mean? He's there wasn't a time, I think, while he was there where he was just chilling. Like, it was like...
no, he was, like, going the whole time.
Going the whole time.
Like, I mean, if anybody's ever been on, like, a film, like, set, it sucks.
Yeah, for real, though.
Like,
that's...
It's like, do it like this. Do it like this.
Do this again. Stand here.
Can you make your hand like this?
Yeah.
Can you do this? Like legit.
Mm-hmm.
It's, like, over and over and over again in the most, like, tiny switches.
Yeah.
You know? So, I mean, this kid was working.
Yep.
He was working that whole time. You know, I'm sure he was stoked. He's with, like, he's in Hawaii.
Yeah.
With his family, with friends, with people he knew.
Yep.
You know, and it was a crazy experience, but he was working.
Yeah, he was. And bro, that's the thing. It was like filming a freaking little bit or like a short film or something at one live. And you're kind of like the main guy, but at one live freaking event. You know what I mean? Me and Mike are just telling the crowd, okay, you guys got to cheer, Iam, Iam. And then he makes a walk, goes back. We're like, right on, you know, make some noise. And it's like, Kavika Kaya. And then they're like, no. We're not doing music right now. We're going to redo this. Like, bro, Mike was yelling they were talking to the producer from American Idol down there through the drums and the fire knife. And the guy was like trying to tell us, like, no, redo it. We're like, what? Iam Tongi, you know what I mean? Kept doing that. And then we thought we were done again. They're like, give it up for a couple. The guy's like, we're not doing music. I'm like, oh, brah, this is an ordeal, you know?
Yeah. And I mean, imagine, because at least, like, you've been on set and I've been on different sets. But, like, for the crowd, you're like, what the hell?
Yeah, exactly.
But the crowd was awesome.
Oh, the crowd was
like,
crowding.
down for the,
Yeah.
You know.
Hoy. They were chanting anytime we asked them to. You know 100%. What I mean? And holding up their signs, and I mean, wasn't chilly in the beginning, let me tell you that. You know what I mean? Yeah. So, but bro, it was so major though. Like, everybody asking me, what, Z, how was the event, bro? Like, this is just special. Like, it was what was needed. It's just like, I mean, that's tacky to say, but for real though, like, every person that helped come together and the people that, you know, made, like, help support. Yeah. Guy, that thing was everywhere all the time, all at once. Like, like everywhere I looked, every auntie, for weeks now has been on this, like, wave, you know? Yeah.
No, I mean, and that was the cool part. Like, like you said, it was special. Mm-hmm. It's something that, like, was a unique set of circumstances that came together and people pulled together and made it happen in, like, this fucking epic way.
Crazy way, bro.
In this way that, like, you couldn't, like, if we try to plan it, it would just seem weird.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, it just been awkward.
Yeah.
You know, and, like, more than the music, right? Yeah, it was a concert, blah, blah, blah. But it was this, like, weird event where it's, like, it gives you just a little bit more hope.
For sure.
You know, like, you're way more hopeful. You're like, oh, things can get better.
Yeah. What an unreal way to showcase what we are capable of. Like, that, like, it could have went in any direction.
Oh, no. Mind you, we were praying. I was praying the whole time. Even during the event, I'm like, okay, like, we got all these guys. They are, like, trusting us. All the sponsors that went through us.
They showed up.
They put down. I'm like, nothing can go wrong. Like, like, I don't want a drone to fall out of the sky. Like, I don't want nothing. Like, I'm watching these guys. I'm like, you guys are flying too close. Don't do that. Like, like, that's not what
pretty much on stage.
No, yeah. Oh, no, they're
proud of me.
Like, the American Idol drone crew, they were gnarly.
Oh, guy.
Like, I was like, you guys are flying like 4 drones.
They got that was crazy.
No, yeah. And they're like in feet of each other. I'm like, guys, there's people right under. Like, what are you doing?
For real. Yeah. I know one lady was like, oh, yeah, the UFOs are here. I'm like, what? I look up in the sky. I'm like, holy crap. There's like 2 drones. Bro, like, drone. Oh, no. Coming like that. I'm like, what are they filming?
So I'm just praying the whole time, like, all the way to the end. I'm like, okay, it just got to be good till
Yep.
the end. You know, and everything's epic. Like, you have musicians, you have this. Like, our sponsors are there. They're, like, stoked. Like,
the stage crew or I don't know who that was. Was it theatrics? I don't know.
Yeah.
But they were so effing on.
Yeah.
Like, I'm talking me and Mike. If we stepped foot on the stairs, there was one guy watching us who had 2 mics ready. If Mike comes on, the guy would get his, and then he wouldn't turn it on until we asked for it. So we knew that, you know what I mean, say we grabbed it, there's no mishap or, I mean, it was crazy. I ended up having to give my microphone to Auntie Kella, who kind of is like a part of one of the associations. And brother, the guy running the sounds seen that, and he was like, hey, what's going on? Where's your mic? And I'm like, oh, I had to give him to Auntie Kella because she's gonna do a prayer. He's like, hey, I'm so sorry. Like, that's the only 2 other mics wireless we have for you guys. I said, oh no, it's all good. You know what I mean? Like, it's fine. They're gonna give it back to me after. He's like, oh, okay. I just wanted to make sure. I'm like, oh, amongst all the different shit he had going on, I was like, oh, he's straight dialed.
Right? And the way those guys like work to make that happen, right? Like, they're so flexible.
Oh,
right? Like, to put all those artists together. I mean, and mind you, these medleys that came out of it, and like all these guys are playing together, right?
I'm talking Jack Johnson, John Cruz, Paula Funga, Kavika Kahiapo.
Even the Common Kings guys are playing music at one point, just in the background.
That's heavy.
Like,
I didn't even know that.
Yeah, just like playing bass, just to help.
Yeah.
You know, there's all different kind of guys, like.
And Common Kings, guys, straight up.
Oh, they killed.
You guys are on a brada.
Well, mind you, like, I've heard them before, right? But live, they're good. Like,
bro,
like just on all levels. Like,
fireworks,
musically, energy, everything.
The energy.
You're like, holy shit, these guys they're good.
Bro, brother on
they're super good.
The pianist was, bro. Yeah. Keyboardist, whatever. He kept looking at us. He kept making eye contact with us and grooving out. Bro, I was like, oh yeah, we're seeing. You know what I mean, bro? I was on the side. Oh man, in my tight pants, just going.
Oh no, I'm not gonna say which guy it was, but one of the guys, they're like rocking. This is like the right before the Hanaho.
Yeah.
The guy goes off. He's like, yeah. He's walking off like, oh my back. Like, brother man was hurting, but he was going all out.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was like,
I mean, they were jumping off platforms and stuff like that. Yeah. Is my mouth bleeding?
You got that new one? You got that?
Oh, it is bleeding. I hope they can't see it.
In the canine tooth. Like,
yeah. Oh, the load.
Those molars. Gotta push them in place.
So gross. Hate the taste of blood. But anyway, sorry, my Invisalign does that sometimes. I trip. But yeah, bro. See, I was talking to my bro. So excited, I just started bleeding.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was freaking special, bro.
Yeah. And like, like our sponsors are thanking us after, and I'm just like, no, thank you.
Hi.
Like,
thank you for trusting.
Yeah. Thank you for trusting us. Thank you for doing this. And I'm just like, and I think that was just kind of the general theme, right? Is everybody was stoked and like and grateful.
Yeah.
They're stoked to be there. Like, it was not even about any person.
Nope.
Other than like Iam and helping him.
Yep.
And helping the community, and like, that's awesome, right?
Exactly.
And that's how it should be. Like, I just think like we run through so much shit, right? We run through like we talk about it a lot, but like all these issues in Hawaii, whether it's like housing, whether it's this, all these things are solvable, but they're not solvable alone or by the government.
Yeah.
Right. It'll take like a whole community like acting together to really move mountains.
Yeah.
Otherwise, it's just kind of like wasted effort.
Yeah.
Not to say you shouldn't try, not to say anything like that, but like reality, like when you work together exponentially, things get like done. Mm-hmm. The amount of positive actions is like huge.
And it needs to be people working together.
Well,
like, like you just said.
And that's something I miss, right? Like you hear about it, and maybe like I grew up with it where you had these sensibilities that were like pro community, right? Like about the bigger group, right?
Yeah.
I think Asians have that a lot more, and that's why you see stuff is where you're like, oh, it's not necessarily about me as the individual. It's about like the family or the group, you know?
Yeah.
And you see that. And that's why you see like people who move from like Hong Kong and they do super well. You know, the parents work super hard for like a generation, and the next generation becomes doctors, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Right. I think that's a fact where I forget which, maybe it's people from Hong Kong, but there's one specific group where they have the largest turnaround from like legit broke $0 to becoming like millionaires within one generation.
Wow.
And it's just because of hard work. You know, whether, I don't know, it's either Koreans or people from Taiwan or Hong Kong or China or somebody's, but they do. And it's just because they hustle together, they put the group before the individual, and then they make stuff happen.
Yeah.
Right. And we have all these problems, and I think that's what we need to do is we need to put the group, as in Hawaii, and stop like getting so caught up on petty things that don't really matter. Right. Like, I mean, we talk about, I go through like Facebook and I'm just like, look at this,
bruh.
look at this. And I'm just like, what a waste of time.
What?
Like
the things that they, yeah.
Well, the things they focus on are so like, honestly, not productive.
But then some of them don't even have the right info. I mean, you know what I mean?
Well,
it's
that's
like,
the thing, right? You come with like no info or wrong info.
Just making noise.
Yeah, or making stuff up.
Yeah, making stuff up. Delusion.
And you're like, wait, where'd you get that info from?
For real.
Right? Like, that's my thing, is anytime you post something, ask yourself, is this productive? Like, is this going to benefit the situation, or is this just going to...
I got to ask myself that too. So it's this
stir it up.
Yeah,
like,
so brands not just... This isn't like for just... like for all you guys. It's for like even me. I'm like, if somebody leaves some one-off out-of-pocket comment, and believe me, I mean, I'll write something, I'm like, you know what, bro? This not gonna... Even if you wrote back something, I'm like, this is dead in the water. Like, why am I even gonna help?
Like, why argue with somebody? It's no point, right? Like, if all it does is create division, there's no point.
Yeah, exactly.
Right? And, like, you can argue and be like, I'm right, you're wrong. Like, who cares?
Yeah.
Because the situation is shit.
Yeah.
Right?
How does it... Exactly.
Like, oh, you're king of the fucking... You know?
Yeah, exactly. Because if that was a case for this event on the who's right... like, I'm right, you're wrong...
Right?
Thing would have been terrible.
Well, there was a million opportunities for people to be like pissed off.
Yeah.
And say, what the heck's going on? And nobody did. And because of that, it turned into this like epic thing.
Yeah.
Right.
Bro.
Like, honestly, like, I think as individuals, me and you are just that stoked on it still.
Oh, yeah.
Where we're just like, holy crap, we got to be part of this thing.
100%.
Where we're like, I don't necessarily know. I hope it does, but I don't know if it happens again.
Yeah.
Right? I hope something like this happens, or something in the same vein, and just different people or different things, not necessarily like American Idol or anything or music, but just community efforts where communities come together and do stuff.
Support more. How do we make this happen good than this? Because like you said, million ways that it could have went south. But that's not what that was not the task. You mean the assignment was to freaking figure this shit out.
Yeah.
You had 6 days, be quiet, you know what I mean? And just figure head down, really.
Yeah.
You know?
100%.
Roll with the punch. Like that was you want to talk, guys were adapting.
Yeah.
Okay, like I can't say, I mean, you know what I mean? For me, I'm like, holy crap, there's so much moving parts right now. There's like so many people involved, and you know, and even Prime and Toy Monkey, they're like, bro, you just let me know. You know, let me know what you need, let me know what you want.
And then even then, like, so, it was the day before, actually. But we went to the jiu-jitsu thing. I don't know if they want us to say where and whatever, but we went to this jiu-jitsu thing, which is like not public, but it's in a place, and there's community members that go, and I was just stoked.
Oh, yeah.
Like, I mean, I've been to Japan, I've been all over the country for jiu-jitsu, and like have gone to a bunch of different schools, and like awesome guys.
Yes.
But this one was cool because it was just this zone.
Yep.
And all these people, and it was at a school, and the principal was there.
Bro, the principal's a hammer.
Yeah.
Like, you know.
And he's rolling, and he got these kids. These kids don't come from the best situations per se.
Yeah.
And it was just positive.
Yeah.
And there's all these things like that where I'm like, frick, I just wish there was more of this.
Yeah.
I wish there was more. Like, where you go and there's not just a bunch of, like, anger and hate.
Yep.
And, like, yeah, just like abuse of power.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, like these guys were just there, and these are all local brothers, and they were just like, when I walk into a jiu-jitsu place, I look around, I'm like, okay, what am I gonna deal with today? Like,
yeah.
I'm like, oh, is there a bunch of MMA guys here? Am I gonna have to like go hard?
Yeah.
Like, or
Grind face, right? Like, you're
or
right.
am I going against some wrestlers today or military? Like, no, I mean, it's real, because then I have to know how to prepare myself.
Yeah.
You know, like, okay, like this is gonna be a grinder. I was there. I was like, oh, these brothers, they're in shape. They're big.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. Game on.
And then you go and they're just like technical, good, awesome jiu-jitsu guys, just not aggro.
Yeah.
You know, and they're just trying to get the technique. They're trying to learn. They're trying to like get better. And I'm like, oh, this is awesome.
Yeah. They're asking questions,
Right?
teaching the kids, right? Like, I mean, guys are staying after how long? Just
Yeah.
teach.
Their professor was awesome. He's super down. He like, I never met him before that time, and he was just like showing and this, and like I was like, oh, all right, on.
Yeah.
You know,
that's
what I
true,
mean,
yeah.
he's super like accommodating and like helpful. You know what I mean, and just trying to be like do the best as possible. And I was like, oh, this is sick.
Yeah.
You know, and that's the kind of stuff I want to see happen more, right? Just different little things that sprout up in people's little like atmospheres. I don't care whether they're into cars,
Fishing. Well,
yeah,
I mean,
Pokemon. I don't care. Like,
yeah.
like create a group and like support people,
Yeah.
right? And figure out what it takes and like go in multiple groups. Whatever the thing is, it's just how do you come together to do positive things and better everything around you, right? And if enough people do that, you're just in a better spot.
Yeah.
Right. And then, because I mean, I think that's like, I've heard people talk about this before, but like, if you ended all war today, then tomorrow there'll just be war again because people are the same. So the only way to stop stuff, the only way to stop war, this, that, what we deem bad, is like in individuals.
Yeah.
Like individuals have to change to make everything change, right? And so if enough individuals change, then the whole atmosphere changes.
True.
So in that way, like that's kind of what has to happen and be encouraged and be rewarded. You know, is that our community should strive for that.
Yeah.
You know, to be better, to be better for other people too.
Yeah.
You know, how do you be inclusive in a way that benefits people? You know, how do you do it where you build them up?
Yeah.
Versus just do that, or even sometimes like placate them. Sometimes you pity people, so you like treat them nice. That doesn't help them either.
Yeah.
Right? Just be honest with them. Hey, man, I don't like that. This is why. Maybe we could do this instead. You know, and to do real like hard work and put in the effort to make things better.
Yeah.
You know, and those are the kind of things where I think it bridges gaps, where you have trust in people, where you're like, well, I've been working with this person this long, and you know what? They've always gone out of their way to help me. I trust them.
Yeah.
Right? And even we talk about that all the time, right? Is this idea of trust. Like, we have the responsibility as on social media or in real life where people trust us. So we need to, like, treat that with the utmost respect.
Yeah.
Like our most valuable thing. Like, money comes and goes. But, like, my dad was always like this. He's like, you lose your name, you're done.
Yeah.
Like, if your name is now this, if it's associated with that, like, the amount of work you have to do now to fix that is most of the time, like, undoable.
Yeah.
Right? Not that you couldn't do it, but, man, the amount you have to is, like, exponentially more than it took to break it.
Yeah.
Right? So if you're associated with bad things, it's going to take you a while. You have to earn that. Like, it was always that. You have to earn your name. Like, I don't care if you're the mayor's son. You have to earn that. It doesn't matter.
Yes.
You know? Like, people are going to see you for who you are, and your actions are going to show that. So you better get off your ass and do something.
Yep. And you can't fake that either, right? I mean, things check out. You mean...
100%. And here's a word of advice for everyone. Just look at people's actions. They're going to tell you what they really think. Period. Right? Like really look at them. Look at them from a long-term perspective. I don't care what comes out of people's mouth. I watch them. I look and I see, oh, this person has done this for this long and nothing's changed and they're still doing that. So they probably think this. Right? Or this person had this pattern of like doing this, and then like screwing these people over. Yeah. Then they do it again. Like, why wouldn't he do that to me? Yeah. So it's one of those things, like, look at people's actions and you're going to easily see what is what. Yeah. Right? Not to say people can't change, not to say this or that. But like at that point, they need to earn it back. You
Yeah.
know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And that's the thing I think with all this is like, if we build trust within communities and people, and I think that's why, like, when we talk about Hawaii, like a lot of people talk about Hawaii like in this nostalgic way. That's what it was. There was this communal trust, right?
Yep.
You knew that guy, that poacher guy wasn't dummy, but you could trust him.
Yeah.
Like he'd always lip to you, or he'd like say something, but you knew when it came down to it, he was down for the cause.
Yep.
Or you knew this guy was like this, you know this, but you just trusted them.
Yep.
Because regardless of how they were your neighbor.
Mm-hmm.
And you knew when things went wrong. And even when there was like the hurricane, right? Like you were young, but I mean, I was young too, but everything was wrong.
Mm-hmm.
Meaning like everybody's houses were broken. Things are falling down. Nobody had water, food, blah, blah, blah.
Mm-hmm.
So like everybody had to band together to make it happen.
Yeah.
And even though it was this shitty thing that like destroyed like all of Kauai, you know,
Mm-hmm.
like people came out of it way more tight.
Yeah.
You know, you ever notice people like, you know, I was here for the hurricane. Like that's always the reference point.
Yeah, no, seriously.
Right? Because they realized that was a turning point in history where people like put in the work.
Yeah.
People put in the work to like become part of a community, even if they were just they're haole guys who moved there.
Yeah, to make things better. You know what I mean? To figure it out.
No, 100%. And that's the thing is like, how do we keep on working together and creating these things to make things better? There's a whole set of like problems.
Yeah.
I don't think anybody doesn't see that, but we need to fix that.
Mm-hmm.
And things like this event was like probably one of the most hopeful things I've seen in a long time, where you're like, no, it can happen.
Same.
Right? Where you're like, frick, man, we just feel like you're hitting your head against the wall the rest of the time.
Yeah.
But something like this, you're like, oh, it can happen.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
No, so that's kind of the big takeaway from this. I was like, oh man, like I'm stoked this kid won. I really hope he gets a super solid team behind him and he just goes as far as he can.
Yeah.
You know, and he just kills.
Mm-hmm.
But even more than that, like the kind of things that come out of it and the feeling and the energy and the way people felt, I hope they like want that more.
Yeah.
And realize the only way to get that is to start to sow into your own communities.
Yeah.
And put in like the hard, long work.
Seriously.
You know? And that's how we get things better. We complain about kids not doing this, and this, but who's working with them?
Yeah.
Right? Who's teaching them?
Mm-hmm.
We complain about mainlanders coming in and like, oh, they don't get it. Like, well, who's teaching them?
Yeah.
Like, of course they don't know. Like, I've moved to the mainland and I've lived in cities and I do things wrong from their cultural standpoint all the time.
Yeah.
Right? And if nobody ever took the time to like teach me like, oh, don't do this on the subway or don't do this here, like, I wouldn't know. It's like ignorance. It's not stupidity.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? They just don't know.
Yes.
Right? And a lot of them are respectful and some aren't, mind you. But you got to give them like the chance.
Yeah.
You got to give people the chance to like figure it out, to learn. It's not going to be instant,
Mm-hmm.
you know, and they come from a culture that's going to be super different. So as long as we're combative and like inclusive and not like putting up barriers, like of course you're never going to freaking fix anything.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Right? It becomes a us versus them thing.
Yeah.
And then everybody just, it becomes a battle. And the only thing left after battle is like rubble.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Go through any war, nobody wins. Right? You go to Ukraine right now, if Ukraine wins, everything's still destroyed.
Yeah.
Right? You go to Syria, you go look at that. Like, I mean, look at Syria in the 70s. It was probably crazy, nicer than New York.
Damn.
And then now it's like just rubble,
Mm.
right? Because of decades of just war. And like, so what? Who won? The whole place is trashed.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And Hawaii, like socially, like we have a lot to learn from that.
Yeah.
No. But yeah, super hopeful. So stoked on all the people. And again, like this is just our part of that we saw
Yes.
of the story and like what we went through.
Mm-hmm.
And I guess my thing is like there was way more than that.
Yeah.
Whatever we saw, there was so much more going on and so many more people like sewing into this. And that's like the awesome part.
100%. You
Where
know, trying to, you know, we know how we helped and was a part of it, but, you know, the facilitating of the different bands, flying them down, getting them set up, like all these different things that added so much value.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And made it so much better.
Yeah.
I just mahalos to everybody who was really, you know, who took the call and was a part of it. Cause
Yeah. And then all the people showed up, right? Like I mean, at this point, there's a bunch of drone shots. There's a bunch of stuff of people, like the crowd. But like when you're on that stage and you look out and you literally couldn't see the end of people, you're like, whoa.
Yeah.
this is crazy.
Exactly. No, it was gnarly. Like I said, bro, it was the craziest event that I have been a part of, and the vibe and what was taken away from that was, like you said, bro, like it was so awesome. Like just even walking around after, I went to a Sato family and grabbed some sherbet after, and dude, there were like still like hundreds of kids playing at the light in the lawn.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? And it literally, I was like, oh wow, like it does feel like that, you know, like that the carnival days where everyone came together, where you knew that auntie making flying saucers in the freaking tent, and you know the guy Ron on the radio, and just you know like it was a place where where that community could come together, and Hawaii could come together, and it was just to celebrate everything aside. Everything here is to support this kid, you know, who is such a great representation of freaking what Hawaii is, from the way he carries himself, from the way he's grateful, even, you know, no matter the circumstance. And is it hard? Yeah. But seems to be, you know, super grateful and joyful and happy.
Yeah. And on top of that, ultra talented. Because my thing
talented.
is, like, I've seen this, and like I've lived in New York and been in these circles with like the best finance guys, the best restaurant guys. Hawaii lacks nothing as far as skill.
100%.
Like people in Hawaii have the skill to be world class in anything.
Yep.
It's just, do we believe that?
Uh-huh.
Do we believe that as like a community? Do we believe that individuals? Like, I hate the term like, oh, that's so awesome. It's like so great in Hawaii. I'm like, no, I want to be the best in the world.
Yeah.
Right? Like, that's just the way my brain works. Like, I don't care.
Yeah.
Like, I might not be it.
Yeah.
But I'm definitely not going to shoot for anything less.
Yeah.
Like that. I mean, we talk about this all the time. Yeah.
You shouldn't.
Like, even for all the content, for business, whatever. It's like, no, we want to be the best in the world.
Yep. We want to reach as much people. We want it to be as fun, as impactful. You know what I mean? Like, check every box, not just for Hawaii.
Yeah. And there's so many people where I'm like, oh, it could be.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, we were talking about Kuhao. I'm like, oh, this guy kills.
Yeah.
Like, his ideas, I love them.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, when I talk to him, I'm just like, oh, yeah.
We're revving. Yeah. You know what I mean?
Like,
it's so different. It's so refreshing. It's just,
like, there's so many people, though, like that, where you're like, oh, I want the best, like, kainoa. You know, kanoa. I want, like, the best, like, architects.
Bro, right there.
I want to create the sickest buildings where people come and they look at it like when you go to Tokyo and they're like, wow, that's awesome. Like, it's cultural. It's amazing. It's functional. It's non-intrusive to the environment. There's a million different reasons why it's amazing.
Yeah, the pitch is like this because the wind, you mean like whatever, like down to the roof, down to the placement of the building, you know?
Like clothes, fashion, TV, music, whatever the thing is, like Hawaii is capable. Now it's like, do people really believe it?
Yeah.
Like everybody says, yeah, but like, where's your action? You know?
Yep.
And because of that, I'm like, let's do it. Let's find more people and let's get behind them and let's propel them forward.
Yep.
Right? 1 at a time, 10 at a time, whatever, but let's get them out there.
Yeah.
And not just settle for being good in Hawaii. It's fine. It's not bad to be good in Hawaii, but like, I just think you limit yourself.
Yeah.
But yeah, it'll be sick.
Yeah.
But we're excited to see what else happens, who else pops up, what other things happen, what things we can be a part of or do.
Yep.
Yeah, and that's our goal. 100%.
Yeah. And there will be more of it. I mean, we're working on some stuff, but yeah, bro, I just, again, bro, like, making an event like that out of, you know, in 6 days, bro, just mahalo to everybody, you know, who was a part of it. I just did, like Brandon was saying again, you know, we just wanted to share. We're coming off this high, and I'm still very much. I watched the finale last night. You know, after seeing that uncle do what he did at the airport, it's so freaking refreshing, and I don't know, bro. I'm still coming off this wave, and we just wanted to hop on here, to kind of just share from our point of view what it was, what it kind of took, and what it was for Hawaii.
Yeah.
You know.
Well, that and like really what it was, right? Like, because if you just were in the audience, you're like, wow, these guys just put on an awesome concert. If you're in the back, you're like guys are putting out fires left and right. And making things happen. And that's what it took to put something like that on.
Yeah.
And that's why we wanted to make sure is like guys like Brenton Awa like got the credit and and Tautua Reed and their crew and like all these people like they really put it on. You know, and we played like a tiny role. You know, and we're just like lucky to be a part of it.
Exactly.
Like that's the way we feel. You know, and like to be able to experience that, like the only thing I wish is like every single person in Hawaii could experience
100%.
That would be the only thing where I'm like, oh, dude, if everybody could have felt that feeling,
for real,
hopefully that could have like ignited something. You know, and not that nothing was ignited, but I just think there's more opportunity. But but we'll talk to you guys later.
I just again, you guys, I know there's been we've just been busy, but we're back on it. We're back in the studio. We're excited to be talking story with some killer guests that we have on the list coming up. And again, Iam, bro, you know, congratulations, bro. You know, you're so deserving of this, and we cannot wait to see, bro, what comes from this, you know.
100%.
And guys, thank you for tuning in. I gotta use the bathroom. I was drinking these nonstop. So
no, you're on your like third one.
Oh, I know. Straight up, I gotta use the bathroom. But mahalos, and catch you guys next time.
Aloha.
All right, aloha.
Shoots.